Welcome. This is Graham Norris, and this is the Profit Shield Growth System podcast.
Time management. We think we've got it figured out until life proves us wrong. But what if the secret isn't managing time at all, but completely redefining our relationship with it?
That's such an interesting perspective, especially when you consider how many business owners are literally sleeping with their phones under their pillows these days.
It's actually reached epidemic levels. A recent study showed that 72% of small business owners experience burnout from trying to handle everything themselves. And that brings us to this fascinating concept called time leverage that's revolutionizing how successful real estate investors operate.
So, what exactly makes time leverage different from regular old time management?
Here's the game-changing part. Instead of just organizing your time better, you're creating systems that multiply it. Imagine this. You're at your kid's soccer game, and a tenant reports a major leak. But instead of leaving the game, an automated system dispatches a pre-vetted plumber, handles access, and monitors the repair, all without you lifting a finger.
That sounds amazing in theory, but how realistic is it for the average investor?
Well, here's the surprising part. Implementing these systems isn't as complex as people think. Studies show that the average real estate investor spends 17 hours per week on tasks that could be automated. That's almost half a work week.
Those numbers are honestly shocking. What are some examples of these time multiplying systems?
Let me break it down into three key areas. First, tenant management, automated screening processes that reduce screening time by 80%. Second, maintenance coordination, systems that handle routine repairs without owner involvement. And third, financial automation, from rent collection to expense tracking.
But doesn't all this automation come with a pretty hefty price tag?
That's where the math gets interesting. The average real estate investor who implements these systems sees a 40% reduction in their active management time within the first 3 months. When you calculate the value of that time saved against the system costs, most investors see a return on investment within 60 days.
Hmm, that's actually much faster than I would have expected. But what about the human element? Don't tenants want personal interaction?
Here's the counterintuitive finding. Properties with automated systems actually report higher tenant satisfaction rates. Why? Because issues get resolved faster and more consistently. Plus, when owners aren't bogged down with routine tasks, they can focus on meaningful interactions that actually matter.
That makes a lot of sense when you put it that way. What's the first step for someone wanting to implement these systems?
The experts recommend starting with what they call the time audit, tracking every single task you do for 1 week. On average, investors discover that 65% of their activities could be systematized or delegated. But here's the key. You start with just one system.
And what's been the most successful first system for most people?
Maintenance management consistently shows the highest initial impact. Investors who implement a maintenance management system first report an average time savings of 6 hours per week. That's practically a full workday.
Those are some compelling numbers. But what about the learning curve?
That's actually one of the most interesting findings. The average implementation time is just 2 to 3 weeks, much shorter than most people expect. And here's the kicker. Once one system is in place, subsequent systems typically take 40% less time to implement.
You know, this whole conversation is making me rethink how I approach my own time management.
And that's exactly why this concept is so powerful. It's universally applicable. Whether you're managing properties or running any other kind of business, the principles remain the same. It's about building systems that work for you, not the other way around.
So, what's the bottom line here? What's the key takeaway?
The data shows that successful real estate investors spend 80% of their time working on their business, not in it. And that's only possible through systematic time leverage. It's not about working harder. It's about building smarter systems that multiply your impact without multiplying your effort.
That's really powerful. It's like building a machine that works while you sleep.
Exactly. And speaking of sleep, imagine getting back to doing that without your phone under your pillow. Because ultimately, time leverage isn't just about business efficiency, it's about reclaiming your life.
Well, thank you, everyone, for joining us in this fourth episode. I'm using systems to produce these incredible podcast videos. And so if you would like, simply subscribe and then keep everyone up to date with all the latest developments when it comes to leveraging your time. We'll talk to you soon. This is Graham Norris signing off. Thank you for listening to episode 4. We'll see you in episode 5, and don't forget to like and subscribe.